put the world in context.
Coming up here in a minute, of course, everybody or some al-Qaeda affiliated group is going to get its hands on a nuclear weapon. Well, our next guest coming up says that's the least of our worries. We need to worry about something called an E-bomb that could basically shut this country down, and we are going to explain what that means coming up. Well, forget dirty bombs. Our next guest says the most serious terrorist threat is something called an E-bomb. It is a device far easier to trigger that he says could cripple the U.S. economy in just a matter of hours. Joining us now is an expert on the matter and the author of The Chicken Little Agenda, Robert G. Williscroft. Robert, thanks for being with us. Okay, so in layman's terms, explain exactly what an E-bomb is.
Well, if you take a tube about a foot in diameter, wrap a bunch of wire around it, and then run current through the wire and blow up an explosive inside the tube so that it stretches out and shorts out the cable, you end up with a compression flux generator, and that will produce a pulse of electromagnetic radiation, which is many, many times more powerful than lightning, and the effect can be to fry all the electric and electronic circuits in the area. Right,
so you say that if one of these things that we showed on our screen is sent up in a commercial jet or just some sort of small plane and detonated by a terrorist, it could basically shut down the U.S. infrastructure, the U.S. economy, and in your words, take us back to 250 years ago to a pre-industrial state. Explain.
Well, it depends on the size of it. If the type that a terrorist organization might be able to make could certainly shut down a city the size of Boston or Los Angeles. What would happen is that you'd start off eliminating computers and phones and other electronic devices, but it would propagate through the electrical distribution grid, frying generators and connectors, and over a period of 15 to 20 minutes would take out everything within a given region, and this can be done with very modest cost, actually.
Robert, what can be done to stop this? This isn't something that can be fought with antivirus software. This sounds like something, you know, akin, as you said, to a lightning strike.
It takes shielding, and it's the kind of thing that the military and the government have already done as far as protecting the installations we have on a home basis. It's really very difficult to do anything about it after the fact.
Right, but before the fact, is everything? I mean, is everything shielded? What needs to be shielded that isn't?
Virtually nothing is shielded. Your computer isn't shielded, your house isn't shielded, the local pumping station for sewer and water isn't shielded. Essentially, nothing in our normal civilian infrastructure is shielded at all, and this is where the danger comes from.
So, Robert, do we have reason to believe that our enemies are actually working on this, or is this something that U.S. geniuses devised as a possibility?
Well, let me put it this way. If you and I belong to a cell, and for $400 or $500 we could go to Home Depot and Fry's Electronics and pick up some parts and start experimenting out in the desert here in California, it wouldn't take us that long to make something that would work on a small scale, and then we just have to ramp it up a little bit. I think they're working on it and have been.
Well, that's a disturbing thought. I guess the news of the day would be that we need to work on developing those shields just in case we've got folks who hate us who are as well-schooled as you are. Robert, thanks so much for being with us for the explanation.
You're very welcome.